The alarm went off in my car last night. That's the last time I'll lend my car keys to a dodgy 80s band. I know it's going to be that kind of show. It's good to be among you again, my friends, and indeed, so eager was I to be so that I spilt some tea on myself, on my breast, as I try to run into the studio of Loving Awareness here to say hello to the 5 or so people who gather here as almost faithful followers. Yes, indeed, I'm talking about you, Nigel, Jerry, and Tara, and Susan, and Joan. Did I say Jerry? I think I did. And Amy, I think, who's a lovely lady from the States as well. By the way, those of you who do watch it, and I know there are some of you that you're not exactly, coming forward saying you listen to the show, you maybe make contact. This much is true at protonmail.com. And I'd say hello. Oh, of course, the comments below if you insist on going that route. I didn't get a chance because to look at my email today. So I got in from Madrid. When did I get in from Madrid? When did I? Last night, I got in from Madrid. 2 hours, by the way, right on the nose from the time the plane took off in Madrid till the time it landed in Dublin airport. Madrid, what can I say about it? Passion beyond belief. I felt the vibe straight away. Do not get me wrong, folks. My head hasn't been turned just because I've taken a 2-hour plane ride away. Oh, no. But what I did detect was just the passion, the vibe of the people. I really did. I felt an energy about it that I don't quite feel in Ireland at the moment for, I suppose, a variety of reasons. But I felt it. It was a throng of people and of all ages. And I just felt this energy, this kind of passion that we appear to be lacking right here in Ireland. Again, Ireland is a beautiful place, beautiful scenery, all that. But I think there's a downtroddenness or an apathy, in fact, also a laziness about people. So we have just suffered through our local and European elections here. And quite a lot of it, it's the same old, same old. I mean, why do people actually get involved in it in the first place and take it and smear it all over them and start going, I'm going left or I'm going right? Why do they bother? Because they're two cheeks of the same arse. We've got main parties here are Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, and between them they do all. I've seen it. They've got this country by the throat for about 100 years at this point. And I'm fed up of all the new promises and it's going to be this way and all the way. No. It's going downhill in a handcart rapidly. And until it reaches certain doors throughout Ireland, it's not going to change. I think there is a sea change, judging by the last referendum we had. It may not have shown its nose in these elections, which I think were just people couldn't be arsed to get off their fat arse and vote. I think that was a lot of it. And then there was the entrenched, the incumbent parties who are just the old boy network and they know the ropes, they do. They know everything. As a matter of fact, on one end of the country, they were busing Ukrainians. Now, Ukrainians are over here supposedly fleeing from the war. Yet some of them seem to be able to go back at Christmas time. That's okay. I don't mind, look, Ukrainians or Poles or any. The fact is, a lot of them were rounded up and bussed to polling stations. And I'm sure there were possible conditions laid out as to who to vote for. I can't say any more. I just don't understand how people from not even from the EU are able to vote in these elections. I don't know if it's even legal. Am I missing something here? To me, it smacks of interference, if I'm honest. You're here a wet day and suddenly you're able to vote left, right and centre. I don't know. I try and keep out of it. I do. I really try and be, as we say in Ireland, a Mayfainer, which isn't like, that means all for yourself. But as I look around, I think you're as well off just look after yourself and look after the family. On the other hand, I can't remember what philosopher said it, but there's a special place reserved in hell for those who sit on the fence during moral danger, something like that. So maybe I'm going to hell. I don't know, but I have... It's also identity-driven these days, and I hate it. I'm tired of it. In fact, as I was away, wait till I tell you, we stayed in this great place. We were in central Madrid. One of my daughters is located there because she's studying. So we met her, and she knows her way around like the back of her hand. Brilliant to see her. A young lady, 21 years of age. Come here. I'll show you here. I'll show you there. I'll show you. Place was absolutely beautiful. But we hit the jackpot with the apartment we had. Paid a bit extra to get the view. It was worth it. I might show some of it here, but I literally roll over in the bed and I was looking right out over the roofs and buildings and the sunset, sunrise of Madrid. It was spectacular, and we had a pool right up over our head. Just take a lift up to it. We had something similar in Florence a few years back, but we weren't as high up. We were 11 floors up this time around. And I did, as I said, I felt the vibrancy of the people as well. Sorry, I'm just going to have to take a break now. While I tell you something absolutely ridiculous about Madrid, but one of the first things I noticed was, when you say, that's a good idea. I saw a group of people, a flanks of people. Obviously tourists, I think. And they all had yellow hats on. I don't know whose brainwave that was, but there must have been about 40 people, and they all had yellow hats. And I thought, fantastic. How are you going to get lost? Even if you're delayed browsing in a window, quarter of a mile away, you go, oh, Jesus, where's everybody? Oh, hang on, I'll look around for the yellow hat. That was the idea. Follow the yellow hat. It was lovely. I'm switched on the radio this morning, our national station here, RTE, only up the road. And I listened to one of the guys on air, Oliver Callan, very talented kind of a mimic and impressionist as well. But he was introducing, I can't remember his second name, but remember the co-creators of Father Ted were Matthew something, and as he was described by the aforementioned Oliver. Oh, so here's Matthew, who is the guest today, and the co-creator, of course, of Father Ted, was the now cancelled Graham Linehan. And I thought, how appalling is that, to just write somebody off? Now, it may very well be a factual point as the cancelled, but as if this is something we should accept, that somebody is cancelled. I remember the old days, not too long ago, 70s and 80s, and we were told here in Ireland and in the West in general, do you know something? Those goddamn communists in Russia and China, they've got a queue for their bread. They can't leave the country, They haven't the same freedom as you and I have. And by God, they can't say anything. They've no freedom of speech, because if they do speak their mind, they'll end up with their knees nailed to a door in the gulag. But here, we're able to cancel people. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means good luck to your livelihood. Good luck to the friends that you had. Why am I doing that all the time? Because it's cool. I'm fucking nearly 61 years of age. Forgive my language. And I'm at this. Carry on. I'll stop it. Yeah, we're hypocrites here, I have to say. There is a book written, of course. It's called The Strange Death of Europe. It's like Europe went so far, Western Europe, and now it's determined to destroy itself. And that doesn't get into the whole right-wing rhetoric. It's literally about, if Europe is the house, or Ireland is the house, you look after your house first of all. And you're very, very careful with your house and how you run it, But one of the fundamental, as I come back to here, tenets and dictates of being in the West was freedom of speech. Now we are cancelling people. Do you remember how bizarre it sounded when we'd say, oh, he was sent to Coventry? Do you remember that expression? In other words, nobody would talk to someone. They were sent to Coventry. And then if you want to see even a documentary, it was good biopic, or check it out sometime. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube or whatever. There was a punishment in the US Army called silencing. So if you did something that was out of kilter with the majority, or your comrades, or you felt the authorities felt it wasn't by the book, you were silenced. And there was the cadets, you see, the young officers in training. The cadet, there'd be a silenced cadet. So nobody would talk to him. And Richard Thomas, who used to play John Boy Walton, you remember John Boy Walton, Cutting Picker Mickey? Although he didn't do that. He was far more pensive, if you remember. Nice big mould here. Very bad car accident a few years ago. Nearly wiped him out. He's still amongst us. But I remember him. I distinctly remember he played the part of the silenced cadet in this drama back in the 1970s. It stuck with me. From being in a military background and having brother and father who were cadets, and it struck me how cruel it was. I mean, and there'd be special treatment meted out to the silenced cadet. You know, apart from not being spoken to, they'd be messing with his kit and shitting in his sheets and all kinds of terrible thing. But I just thought how casual it is now for Oliver Callan, who, as I said, maybe he was just being factual, but to throw out a statement like the now silenced or the now cancelled Graham Linehan. Imagine you just sum up somebody's career who was, let's face it, somewhat of a comic genius if you look at Father Ted. I also got, more recently, way after the pack, I got into the IT Crowd, written again by Graham and Matthew, or certainly Graham anyway. And I just thought the writing in it, the concept of it was fantastic. And this guy can barely make a crust now in the UK. Nobody wants to know him. He was due to perform somewhere. It was cancelled. Cancelled. He was cancelled. I think people need to fucking grow up. Right? Because you know what cancelling is? It's the equivalent of what a child does. It's the equivalent of, no, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you. That is what we have become in the West. So I don't think we can necessarily see ourselves above others anymore when something as fundamental as freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, you know, you are axed, if you like, and it's accepted. It's the now cancelled. Good God, how far have we to drop? I better stop now because I'm sounding like an old man. Have I anything? Oh yeah, yeah. I was in the bad books in the neighbourhood because my alarm went off when we were away, and it drove a couple of neighbours bananas. Now it was all fixed because we do have some very close neighbours who are key holders, but they were able to stop the mounting crowd who were ready to hang me in the village square. It was just an accident, really. I don't know. Cats probably set it off or something. So I went around with a couple of bottles of wine and mea culpa tonight. And they were expensive bottles as well, because I couldn't find the cheaper ones. And my wife was in the shower. And if I go up to her when she's in the shower and I say something, she goes, "Oh, you nearly made me trip over." She's from the north, you know. Anything else to discuss? Remember, folks, get in touch. This much is true at protonmail.com. You don't, do you? But I'm going to keep asking you to do that. Of course, comments below if that is your lazy way of doing things. They're always welcome. If you watch this and you don't necessarily interface, it would be nice if you just like and subscribe. That's enough, because I do know there are people who watch but don't participate. And sure, why should they? Have I anything else to talk to you about? Because it is very much off the cuff. Why? Because I'm away again. I'm going to be away. Yeah, I'm at a wedding up in Derry, up in wee Derry. And it is beautiful. I fell in love with it last time I was there. So yeah, I've got a niece getting married, and it's going to be great. So looking forward to that. Got up this morning, got my hair cut by a Turkish barber, and because my Irish one was on holidays. But now I have to be honest, I think I'll stick with the Turk. He's a few bob more, but you feel special in there. I don't feel special in the Irish one at all. What you think? No? Simon Le Bon will be crapping himself. Oh, hang on, it's like a free Botox. So hello to the usuals. Did I mention you already? Jerry, Nigel, Tara, Susan, hey up. And, it's going rapidly tight. Lady in the States as well. Is it Amy? And what about Joan down in the valleys? I think she just subscribed and disappeared. She knew what was good for her. So look, things are going to be back to normal if the Lord spares me on Monday. Checked my blood sugar level there a few hours ago. 11.1. Now, granted, I did have 2 bowls of Rice Krispies, but 11 is not good. I mean, 8 isn't great. 7 is kind of normal, but if you're into pre-diabetic, some people would just say diabetic. Check your blood sugar. It's just as important as cholesterol. Just as important. I like it when it's down around 5.5, 5.6. That's kind of norm. So I'll have to just eat again now tomorrow night because I haven't been putting on a few pounds in Spain. I can't say no to food that's been prepared for me now, can I? But tomorrow on Monday, it starts all over again. I'm going to get fit again. I did over 16,000 steps though today. Do you do that, folks? And also, do you know the earpods, like the Apple ones? I use them. They're really good. Although I'm afraid, you look like a plonker when you're walking around, 2 white things coming out of your ears. And I usually make your ears bleed anyway. But I'm afraid of jogging now, jog waddle in my case. I'm afraid of jogging in them because if you lose one, I know you can locate it on your phone and stuff, but oh my God, if it goes down a pothole or a grate in the ground or something, it'll be finished. And they're expensive bloody things. Very expensive. They're over 100 quid, aren't they? 100 euro anyway. So I thought maybe if I could invent something like this that'll hold them on like that, maybe I could patent that as well. Because you might remember there some weeks back, for those who don't show their teeth when they talk, a bit like me, I invented this. Do you remember that? So now you can always see what I'm up to, and as I said, Tom Cruise won't exactly be shitting himself, but you can see my teeth when I talk. Yeah, it'll only cost you, I don't know, €5, something like that. Oh, geez, hang on. Let's see how far we can go here. It's rising. I can feel it. It's going to snap. Yeah. Oh, good to see you. That reminds me of a joke. Oh, yeah, a very politically incorrect joke. Oh, it's a Japanese guy ambles up to me on the street and he says to me, how often do you have an election? I thought about it for a while. I said, an election? About every 5 years. He says, Gwahaha! You idiot! In Japan, we have an election every night. Oh, hang on, that one does. What? Oh. Well, let's face it. An idiot I am. Did I do the drum roll? Did I? I'm playing with my toys now. Hello. James Bond, send me up a blonde. Yeah. I came back here this morning and I went, you know what? First of all, turn your mic down. I thought, I love communications. I do. And I've always been in and out of it. I love radio. I like sound and vision. So I do. Anyway, I think that's a good place to leave it because I've made a big enough idiot of myself. Talk to you guys soon. Yeah, we'll talk to you on Monday. Or maybe Sunday night. I don't know. Oh no, it won't be Sunday night. No. Monday. Yeah. Keep in touch now. This much is true at protonmail.com. Comment below. Galore! Anybody there? Galore! Now I've definitely lost it. It's just like a fucking man-child on the loose. Take care, 'cause I care.